Sir, just give me a moment.
No
Just
problem.
give me a moment. Yeah.
At the outset, I extend a warm welcome to this new and fresh approach towards IFRS learning session. And unlike past where we used to take up our sessions based on textbook reading, I've taken a new approach wherein I'll just brief you in a minute. And before that, let me share my screen with you and just confirm me if you are able to view the screen. Is the screen
Yes, sir.
viewable? Are you able
Yes.
to view?
Yes, yes.
Now, this is the whole new fundamental course which I have revived, and I believe it was not a part of the release then when it's because some work were pending. So this is how it is, and let me give you a walkthrough so that you get an idea as to how detailed is this, and then you will be able to comprehend. Okay, so okay. No, I will have to. Okay, let me go to here. Oh. Okay, I'll tell you what this is. Now let me give you a walkthrough as to how this course is particularly. Oh my God, so I think yeah. Okay. Are you able to view the this one, the first part of it as to what this is course about, and then we'll take up with this. So what I have done is we have included start from right from the basic, okay, and these are the sections which you can have a view. It all, I mean, this is particularly focused on the fundamentals, not only in terms of IFRS, the whole financial reporting subject itself. So this is a bit of history and outlook of IFRS and building blocks. It goes to so many micro questions, and then moves to advanced level. And then a specific section has been addressed for if you are an auditor, what is an accounting ratios interaction. Now, none of the courses which I have come across, practical live or anything, talks about interactions. This is very interesting, and the reason I have intentionally incorporate this because I want everybody to work at a CFO level. The reason being because once, as I mentioned earlier and repeatedly I have shared with you, is this: if you are 40 plus and if you are engaged in just back office function, then what happens is you are more likely to be replaced by somebody younger because after 40 or 45 or 50, your speed tends to reduce. And then you should be ambitious to move ahead. You get my point on it. To strive for inorganic or organic growth. We'll discuss it later. If you have a specific question, we'll attend to that also. Then there is a small quiz to get you understanding, and there are lots of practical. And this time also, I've incorporated levels like the intensity of the practicals, and of course the technical exam points if you are a student and if you're looking for any this. And in particular, I've also incorporated if you wish to teach ever. So what should be your approach? So this is covered, and then the real life example supported by notes and all. And this is something general, which of course very practical. This is like $1 billion advocacy. Of course, you'll come to know when you read, and this is free. And of course, for the silver members, this is open. It's a part of it. Everything. I mean, they have the complete permanent access. For those people who for this, what is I've done it like I've given only 14 days free because some of the people have just taken free and they have never ever bothered to open it. So I've adjusted the algorithm after 14 days. The course goes off from your account, unless and until if you have covered maybe 50% or more, then it remains. So that I give a benefit of doubt. Then it's fine. So our approach will be that we'll take Q&A wise, and then we'll see as to how it adds value to you. If you have any suggestion before we start, let me know. Or if you now having known that this is our approach, what is your understanding as to onto the approach or any feedback, any comment on this? Yes, I would like to spend some time from hearing. You were hearing from, I mean, on my approach, on this particular approach from you. Yes, Raj. Now, one of the specific reason is that I do understand not many of you would have time to go through the course. What happens if you spend 1 or 2 hours with me or with in consensus or in a group, then you're more likely to understand and then also feel and it's sort of a hope sharing in the sense that if there is a community, okay, Prachi is there, this is there. So I hope that helps. And I don't know what I mean. I am also a part of a group, and I know, okay, if I have any problem as such, I can lean on Maru, I can lean on Prabhu, and it happens so. Even if I get stuck at particular point in time, because sometimes it happens. Like recently, I was drafting a course and I was looking at the practical, and I was not very confident about the answer. And I mean, what happens is like if you are unable to gauge the interpretation in a way where it is to be, and it gives you two answers. And when you talk about practicals, and somebody will say, "Okay, Giovanni sir, this is wrong or this way," but it can be argued. Definitely, as I mentioned earlier, that if you are asked a question on IFRS in an interview or any business setting as such, the answer always says yes. Always lies between yes and no. It can be this side also and can be that also. It all depends on your interpretation. Are you getting my point on it? As to how what is the level of your assumption and how you have interpreted it based on what assumptions is unfolded in your understanding and interpreting thereto. So any idea, any of you sharing? I mean, if you like this approach, fine. Otherwise, you go to the textbook. But I believe this will be more, effective in a way. Whereby we'll know as to how much we have covered, and then you'll have a fallback so that I mean, nobody reads textbooks nowadays.
So we
So
realize your approach is a little different, and it's
Mhm.
always been you make your students think, you make your students look at the IFRS and not reproduce it, but analyze it and see the implications. And that's the same approach that you are adopting right now.
Yeah, no, this, yes, correct. You are right. That's what my core aspect is, that I'm not giving you notes. I am not giving you material. I'm not giving you information. I'm passing on the technology in a sense where you develop that acumen of having, like, to judge, to make a judgment based on interpretation. It's something I couldn't say. It's a technology imparted to you where you can interpret it the way it has to be interpreted, and people applaud you. Okay, yes, 9 out of 10, this person has comes out with a proper judgment. So even if you are wrong at 1 or 2 times, you're given benefit of doubt. I mean, recently I was asked, like, who is an expert? Well, there is no expert. There is expertise, but one cannot proclaim to be an expert, because I mean, things are changing. I mean, when you speak about this particular domain, there is no expertise. And I also came to know, okay, by, like, if you're hunting for a job and if it is IFRS related debate, there are buzzwords. There are buzzwords which there is a program which
The
I just
ATS
came to
picks
know.
up.
Correct, correct. The ATS picks up, and then so how you have to, and you will find too much of literature in this particular revamp courses. Now I'll show you up, and it's like, who will gonna do read it then? So, like, since I have studied in UK, so what I've done, like, podcast is very effective there. So what I've done is, the moment I opened one particular question, you must have found that automatically it picked up reading. So I've I have channelized and I have integrated some artificial intelligence application, and I have started wherein I'll show you. So what happens is, like, if you don't want to read, or if you are traveling as such, you can go through it and automatically it will be read for you, and the audio reading is also available. I'm trying because it takes a lot of time. I'm trying, and all it's one man army, so it takes time for me. But I'm happy as to the turnaround, as to how it has happened, because we started, I mean, it all started from Henry Irwin, and then, somebody suggested, okay, you open up teaching, and then exactly we will complete 18th May. 18th May, we will complete 1 year, and within 1 year, I believe it will turn around, whereas LMS is concerned, because this is 1 year job. But of course, now my pace has become faster due to the artificial intelligence having integrated. But I'm not no expert. It's all a mature level of sort of whatever this one, but I believe it's a good job of it. Okay. So I don't think we have an official reader today, but okay, let's open it and you will come to know. Okay. Okay, let me go to the preview side. Okay, how do I go about without okay. This will be more effective in the sense that this is how it will appear when you open your course at your end. You get my point? Okay. So now there will be too much of reading. Now you can ask me, sir, why do you include so much of material? Now I have incorporated structured material for the very reason is that it gives you an acumen. I mean, you can develop a skill set where your articulation is concerned. Now, most of the time, what happens in terms of financial reporting, you have to write a lot. As an auditor, as a financial analyst, or as a business analyst, you have to write where you will bring the vocabulary. Are you getting my point or not? So the reason I'm not trying to proclaim, but I believe to most of the extent, right from my first job, I mean, having promoted at a very young age was my linguistic. I mean, if you are able to communicate in a way, like, it sounds like you are an expert. You, it so happens like, some of the lecturers, they know everything. There was one economy. Okay, this starts automatically. Sorry for that. Okay, now let me come to this. How it has been structured is like, if you do not wish to read the whole thing, you can start the audio reader, I mean, automatically. Or when you come and open it, this one, automatically the audio reading will start. So it automatically starts. The only thing is you have to just keep focused on the aspects or hover upon where what has been read. Like for example, suppose if I start and okay, I'm just giving an example, then we'll start. Okay. So what you can do basically is like, when it is audio played, the reading is all automatic. So you can just keep a track, or maybe you can just hear it out. No need to be focused, because most of the time when you are traveling, you get my point. You do nothing except watching videos or whatsoever. So better it, like, I thought, because this is UK based, like, modality, wherein like there is a podcast. So I've tried to introduce it. It involves a lot of work. I've just been able to do one or two slides here. Of course, I'll be completing, and it will take time. So let us begin. Would anybody wish to volunteer, or should I start from the core part of it, or should I start from the first question itself? You let me know. If you want, we can just go through the gap, and then we can start from the real basics, which you will know to know. Let me know. Anyway, I mean, we'll start from this so that you get an idea as to how this particular course is structured and what exactly is in store for you. Anybody who would prefer to read, or I would ask the artificial intelligence to do that. See, I've declared it also. I mean, otherwise you would not come to know whether this one, because it's very tedious for me to record and then put it. You get my point. Of course, it involves a lot of time, because then I have to gauge voices and all. You understand that point. And now it's possible. If anybody would prefer to, it's better that we read it and then we are able to assimilate better. Yes, anybody who would volunteer to read? Yeah, Savitma. You are our second best reader.
Shall I start?
Yes, please go ahead.
So, what does this course hold for you and how it is structured? So, welcome to the IFRS Foundational Structure Starter course. Your first step towards mastering the essential of. Can you scroll up a little?
Yeah, sorry. This audio automatically starts.
Yeah. Essentials for international financial reporting standards. So the comprehensive course is designed for accounting and finance professionals, students, and anyone seeking to gain.
Sorry. I think this automatically picks up. I don't know how to ask. Shut up this. Sorry. Or we'll ask him only to speak. Anyway.
The comprehensive course is designed for accounting and finance professional students and
Okay. Now, even if it is there is no voice. Yeah, go ahead.
anyone seeking to gain a solid understanding of the fundamental concepts and principles of IFRS. Through engaging lessons, real-world examples, and practical exercise, you will acquire the knowledge and skills needed to navigate the world of financial reporting confidently. Course highlights: Introduction to IFRS. Learn about the history, objectives, and governing bodies behind IFRS and understand the significance in today's global business environment. Two, key IFRS principles and concepts. Gain a strong grasp of the core principles and concepts underlying IFRS, including accrual accounting, the going concern assumptions, and the qualitative characteristic of financial information. Three, IFRS financial statements. Explore the primary components of IFRS financial statements, including the balance sheet, income statement, statement of cash flow, and the statement of changes in equity, and understand their purpose and structure. 4. IFRS accounting standards. Get an overview of the most common IFRS standards and their applications in various financial reporting scenarios. Fifth, transitioning to IFRS. Learn the steps and the considerations involved in transitioning from local GAAP to IFRS and understand the challenges and benefits of adopting IFRS. 6. Practical case studies. Apply your newfound IFRS knowledge to real life situations through practical case studies and exercise, reinforcing your understanding of key concepts and principles. By completing this IFRS Foundation Starter course, you will be well prepared to take one more advanced IFRS topic and excel in your accounting and finance career. Whether you are looking to expand your skill set, enhance your professional credential, or gain a competitive edge in the job market, this course is a perfect starting point.
Well, I mean, if you see prima facie, and you may get a feel of it is very extremely professional. I mean, this is how if you take up any foreign courses or land up in an institution, I mean, it becomes a moral responsibility as a course designer to give you uh, an exposure as to what exactly you will find or this particular course holds for you. And like and I have strived my level best to incorporate everything what has been narrated here. And more so, the very reason from my side I would like to share with you is the, of course, you will also come across that particular write up on that, okay, why I have not incorporated. Of course, I'll be incorporating my videos, but it will be very distinct. It will be, what do you say, unusual, because as it is, like, I follow a very unique style. Now, what happens is, like, when you read or when you are listening to the audio, you develop indirectly an acumen towards your articulation that helps to gauge in and build up your writing skill set. Or maybe when you're talking, you are able to articulate in a way where you can speak like a professional. Like, if you're seated in a boardroom and then if you do not know the terminologies where you have to interact, because it's there is a one course in UK before you undertake any ACC exam. At that point in time, where we were asked to do it was financial English. I don't know whether you heard about this particular thing or not. So what happens is, like, when you are seated in a meeting where you need to discuss, this automatically starts. So when you have to discuss, so what happens is you are gauged properly or perceive that you are part of professional. Otherwise, I don't know. There is, to my experience, that people will not only undermine you, or they will have a particular distance by you are not up to the mark. Are you getting my point? It's not a matter of showing it. You may know everything, but if you are unable to articulate, then you know the whole procedure. For example, in terms of cooking, by okay, by this is the recipe you use. But if you are unable to execute it, practically execute it, you are not an expert. And what happens at a point in time, it's a cosmic natural aspect that I'll tell you something. I never expected that I would be a CFO at an age of 48 or 46. Now I had one thing in mind, that I was very lucky to work very closely with two CFOs for a period of say about 4 years. In and out, I directly reported to them. So I knew that they knew everything and they made us work. Are you getting my point? Like then when I got a position, so I understood one thing, that anybody came with a journal entry to me, I could assimilate how this will reflect. Are you getting my point? And then what happens is, when there's a listed company and when you know how this is going to reflect, you will be in a position to counter. See, everybody is able to work and execute. Are you getting my point? So when I say you are ready, you will be in a position to counter, means that if any question comes up in general meeting, or if any stakeholders confront you, and if you are able to articulate in this, then see, one of the abilities is convincing, and convincing is communicating. And anybody can communicate, but the way you articulate it enhances your negotiation power. So the very idea of incorporating terminologies, and this has taken a lot of time. This will, that's why I said I have completed till 34, and I've used the colors also, which is very symmetrical and it spells out, because I believe in color therapy and color, because of financial modeling is all about color based. So I don't know, you'll pick up, and I strongly recommend that at least you go this, because this is 100% complete except the color part of it. Of course, I'll be finishing in a day or two. If you see, if you can see the use of colors, so you will be able to, it will have a subconscious effect, and you will be able to assimilate where I'm coming from, and then this will have a huge effect, because you will be able to comprehend that. You get my point? If you read all throughout, then okay, by at this point in time it is red, that means the system is looked into, and automatically our brain set takes up and perceives color fast. You get my point? Of course, I'll be keeping it more black and white, because it gives a cooling effect to it. That's why I have a white at the background and black shirt. Somebody asked, is it your black color favorite? No matter of this one, it gives you a cooling. Like if you have to observe me for 1 and 2 hours wearing a zigzag zazi color, it gives you a nice, it hurts your eyes. So this is one of the factors wherein, I always try to wear black. Of course, when I make video, it will be completely black, dark. So anyway, this is of course something general. So let's skip this particular thing. You have the access to this, you can go for it. Okay, this is more important. This is what I wanted you to know. It's not so okay, there will be no videos. I'll be incorporating my videos in terms of narratives. Like for example, there is one full-fledged question. You get my point? I have incorporated the maximum structured articulation, wherein like if you are asked and if you have read, even if once you have read it, you will be able to deliver what you have been assigned in terms of your professional. The point to bring home is that you will be able to apply in real world. And this, trust me, in the times to come, you will experience, or maybe must have experienced by this time, that you will be preferred over others, because you are able, not just knowledgeable, but you are in a position to deliver, and deliver is all about application. The whole idea is like what you bring to the table does not matter much. The only thing that matters in practice is like how much you are able to deliver. Am I right, Rajiv? This is what
Yes.
question comes. This one, how much you are able to deliver.
Unfortunately, that's true, because
Yeah.
people always judge you based on what we deliver.
Yes, correct. When I used to work for McDermott, the US-based company, there was another person, Chirag Modi, and he was my senior, of course, at that point in time. Very brilliant guy.
Heard his name. I've
Achha.
been to McDermott a couple of times in Jebel Ali.
Oh wow, that's good. That's where I used to work. In fact, I was posted in this one. What do you say? I'll just stop this. I worked in Doha as a area accountant, and then I was shifted to Jebel Ali. So what he used to do is like, he used to maneuver, kaise bhi karke, like, he used to tally it, and nobody came to know how he did it. And especially when the project is near closure, nobody bothers to look into. So when he was absent, I was asked her to explain it. And I also like made a goof of, and like I would not use the word bundle, but the thing is like, I mean, articulate this. And when he came, like, how did you able to follow? I said, I am your chela, and I know I need to understand your mindset to be able to work under you for long. They said brilliant, like, and I learned a lot from those people, and especially, I mean, Pakistani accountants, Sri Lankan accountants, they're very varied pattern. Especially Sri Lanka, very strong and finance, very strong. You cannot beat them because their chartered accountancy is what do you say? They follow London Chartered. I mean, not ACCA. They follow, which is the highest prestigious degree, and that are those you have to be engineer to do that chartered accounting. Are you getting my point? It's that difficult. It's not a matter of challenging. I mean, everything in terms of, I mean, further qualification, advanced qualification, challenging. But that is something, lot of mathematical logarithm. We also had it. So anyway, we'll go back to this one. I hope this approach is making sense. Of course, let's go and read this particular thing so you get an idea as to why I have made what happened, where it went. By the system. No, where we were. ACC starter course, correct? The role is gone. Welcome is gone. Courses are was thanks for choosing mission and insight that you can give. No, what I was to where it went. Sorry about this. Welcome message. It's moving very fast. Yeah, we read this, correct? This no. Because what happens is like, it automatically moves ahead. I wanted to know. Correct. I wanted to tell you why there is less of video here. Okay, let's go on to this, and like you may be carrying a question as to why in a QA format. Do you want us to go through this, or we can start from, I mean, or skip this?
We can skip.
Yes.
We can skip
Okay.
this.
Okay. This you can go through because okay, now this has so my mouse is also like moving very fast. Okay. Let's start from here. This is all basic. So let's start something here because those are like something very common. Okay. Now, what do you understand financial reporting? Of course, you may be having an idea, but I mean, if you are asked to say write an article or explain or give a talk or maybe conduct a lecture or maybe in a boardroom or like train, because I saw most of the time in Leighton, that is Australian company, our CFO used to conduct training. So I asked him, like, in spite of your busy schedule, why do you conduct training? Because trainings are usually conducted by outsiders. So he said, I do it for my interest. Now, this is a point where I'm explaining so that you can, if you wish, pick up and, it gives you insights and it helps. And I agree with him. And that's what I did when I became a CFO, in the sense it helps in your communication, in your mindset, in terms like if CFO gives you a training, you are able to understand his mindset. And then the way he articulates and explains, it is an indirect connection that gets built, that this is how he expects delivery. Are you getting my point? See, if you continuously communicate with your client, as a consultant, you will be in a position, or say a boss or a subordinate, you will be able to pick up not only vibes, but his brain pattern also. And that's what AI does. You get my point? It's like you will be able to understand prompts in terminology of artificial intelligence. It depends as to how you give a prompt. Because I can help you with that. Like, how do you like if you wish to know more about AI or this one, and there is a seminar also which is coming up, I think on 18. Anyway, that is a live seminar. Physically, you have to go in. So the idea is like, the main crux of giving so much of information is not to get you bogged down with too much of info overload. But the thing is, at times, if you are looking at and when you know, okay, by there is this, we can find this. Are you getting my point? See, not everybody would come in your firm as a subordinate, as a chartered. Somebody would be like, just a graduate, or maybe somebody, I mean, out of influence would come from sales department. It so happens, at times, and not everybody will be able to understand. So if you want, you can copy the write up and maybe share, or maybe like, you can articulate from yourself. So let's start with this. This is most important. Of course, you know what this is all about, but this will give you help you develop an insight and reinforce your study. And the best thing is like, I always believe I have an approach that I know nothing. The Alvin Toffler said the most illiterate of 21st century will be who would not get to learn how to learn, unlearn, and relearn. I do just type Alvin Toffler and famous quote. This is from the book Future Shock. I read that book in 1998. It gave an idea as to what will be the phase of the world in 20 years. Then he produced 5 books, but this is one of the most historical success book which gives you a foresight 20 years earlier as to what this will be, and gifted to most of my close net, having written by my hand. At 10 years hence, you will be able to feel yourself fortunate to have had this book 10 years ago. I still remember the very thing. If you ask me again, I'll repeat the very exact same words because that's how I wrote this. Anyway, coming on to this particular fundamental question, let's begin. I mean, please read so you can get an idea. See, what usually happens when you are asked by what comprises of financial statement, you will be able to give you only 3 parameters. Of course, now since having we have covered this far, you will know, okay, but even notes to the statements are a part of which comprises as a financial statement. Unless you narrate that, the answer stays incomplete. So the opponent feels that he is not an expert. Are you getting my point? Means not only you should know more than others, but you should be very apt and very accurate. Accurate doesn't mean that by 0.00 you should be 100% accurate, but the only thing is you should be able to apply in real world, and then the result would, of course, there will always be a variant, I mean, there will be a degree of tolerance to the mishap, or the gap between perfection, but in pursuit of perfection, because you can never be perfect. You get my point? Human cannot be perfect, neither AI can be perfect. But this is all about judgment, so you need to understand. Anyway, please read. What is financial reporting?
What is financial reporting? Financial reporting is the process of preparing, presenting, and disclosing financial information about a company or organization to various stakeholders, such as investor, creditors, regulators, and the general public. The objective of financial reporting is to provide a useful, accurate, and timely information that helps stakeholders make informed decisions about the company's financial information and position. Key aspect of financial reporting include financial statements. These are the main components of financial reporting and typically include the balance sheet, income statement, statement of cash flow, and statement of changes in equity. These statements provide a snapshot of the company's financial position, performance, and cash movements over a specific period. 2. Notes to a financial statements. These provides additional details, explanations, and disclosures to supplement the information presented in the financial statements, including accounting policies, significant estimates, and details about the specific items. 3. Management's discussion and analysis, MD&A. This is a narrative report prepared by the company's management, which provide context and insight into company's financial performance, position, and future prospects. The MD&A often includes information on the company's strategy, business environment, risk, and opportunities. 4. Auditor's report. An independent auditor typically review the financial statements and issue an opinion on whether they are fairly presented in accordance with the applicable accounting standards such as the US GAAP or IFRS. Fifth, regulatory filings. Companies may be required to submit financial reports to regulatory bodies such as the Securities and Exchange Commissions, SEC, in the United States, which oversees public company reporting, SEBI in India context. Six, annual reports. The comprehensive reports contained in the financial statements, auditors report, MD&A, and other relevant information about the company's operations, governance, and performance over the past year. Seven, earnings releases and conferences calls. Companies often issue press releases and hold conferences calls within investor and analysts to discuss their financial results and provide updates on their business. 8. Non-financial information. Increasingly, companies are disclosing non-financial information such as sustainability reports, corporate social responsibility, that is CSR report, and environmental, social, and governance ESG metrics, which provide additional insights into companies' impact on society and environment. The primary purpose of financial reporting is to promote transparency and accountability, allowing stakeholders to make well-informed decisions about the company's financial health and prosperity of growth.
Well, I do understand that this is something very general, and I am sure you must had an idea about as to what the financial reporting is. Now, what happens is, like, whenever you are studying, or specifically you are with me, you need to understand that you have to learn anything as if you are now a CFO. So what usually happens when you go through this reading, you will be able to assimilate and reinforce all the key parameters. Like, even if you click so that, when you are sitting with an auditor or a boardroom, you know the key points. And if you know the key points, you will be in a position to elaborate further. And the articulation becomes a second nature, because usually communication is like, through practice only. So if you are in a position to articulate, you will be perceived. See, usually your perception, the opponent perceives you as an expert, then only you will be welcomed and they will understand your strength. You may know everything, but unless and until I emphasize, and I have reiterated often time and again, is that you should be in a position to articulate well in order to score over others. Okay, let's move on to the another thing. I don't know what is this one. This helps me in proofreading as well. I saw the there where a 7-point is considered not been highlighted. You got my point. I just realized. Okay. Of course, I have taken much time and efforts to ensure that everything is perfect. Now we come to the second one. We need to understand, firstly, we need to understand what, and then we need to understand why. Yes, please go ahead.
Why is financial reporting important? Financial reporting is important for several reasons as it serves various purposes for different stakeholders. Key reasons for the importance of financial reporting include: 1. Informed decision making. Financial reporting provides essential information to investors, creditors, and other stakeholders, helping them make well-informed decisions related to investments, lending, and resources allocation. 2. Transparency and accountability. Accurate and timely financial reporting promotes transparency and holds management accountable for their actions and their company's financial performance. 3. Regulatory compliances. Companies are required to comply with various regulatory requirements regarding financial reporting, such as those imposed by SEC and in the United States. Compliance helps maintain investor confidence and ensure the proper functioning of financial markets. 4. Performance evaluation. Financial reporting enables the evaluation of companies' performance over time in comparison on the other companies within the same industry. This information helps stakeholders assess management's effectiveness in creating value for shareholders. 5th, risk assessment. Financial reporting provides insight into companies' financial risk and stability, enabling stakeholders to assess uh,
Sorry.
uh, the company's ability to meet its short-term and long-term obligations. 6. Resource allocation. Financial reporting helps management make informed decisions about resource allocation, such as investing in new project or paying dividends to a shareholder. 7. Stakeholder communication. Financial reporting serves as a communication tool between company and its stakeholders, providing an understanding of the company's financial health, performance, and prospects for future growth. 8. Attraction of capital. Transparent and reliable financial reporting enhance a company's reputation and credibility, making it more attractive to potential investor, lenders, and business partners. 9. Corporate governance. Financial reporting plays a critical role in promoting good corporate governance by providing information on the company's financial position, performance, and risk management practices. 10. Social responsibility and sustainability. Financial reporting is increasingly incorporating non-financial information relating to environmental, social, and governance factors, which enable stakeholders to assess companies' sustainability and social responsibility efforts. In summary, financial reporting is vital promoting transparency, accountability, and informed decision making among various stakeholders, contributing to the overall stability and efficiency of financial markets.
Let's take an instant that company has issued ESOP, like employees shares and all, to employees. And then, as you must have come across, whether this helps to make a decision, whereas in terms of paying dividends. Now, whereas ESOPs are concerned, there may be a condition, because there's always conditional basis, that so far as you are employed, you cannot sell. Assume, so far as you are employed, you are not able to sell. Okay. Now you are sitting in a boardroom, and then to pay dividend or to not pay dividend, how it will affect ESOP and employees' mindset. Can you think of? I've given you the narratives. You employees, as an employees, cannot sell so far as you are working, whereas your shares are concerned. Company is deciding in a boardroom whether to pay or not. Will it have any effect on this one? I mean, I am teaching you like a chess. One move can have multiple chain effects. Are you gauging where I'm coming from? I'll be able to understand. If you can, or if I can help you develop that acumen, then you will be able to deliver whatever you need to deliver in finance domain or as a financial analyst or business analyst much effectively. If you decide to make a dividend, what happens? Come on. Just remember where we are, and then we'll come back again.
So if we are not able to make the sale, then in that case, we are not able to make a profit. So how can we?
No. There is no question about profitability. You are in a boardroom, whether to pay or not to pay. So if you are paying, you do not have any constraint on the cash flow. You are making good profit and you ought to give it. When you give it, you are perceived in the market, okay, yes, this company is paying dividends. So, but what happened? My question is to pay or not to pay, and what will be the effect on ESOP and employee mindset? This is an HR issue. Like I said, this is an HR issue. This is not financial issue. I am training you. You can take this not in IFRS class. You can take a live CFO development. I'm preparing one program. It will take at least 1 year to come up that program, but as detailed as this. If you are interested, let me know. Not live. It will be peanuts. This one. You are my shareholders. So my question is, what will be the effect on ESOP? Okay. And what will be the effect on employees' mindset? So when a mindset gets changed, the decision gets changed. Are you getting my point? Do you know something about mindset? It's like a circuit. If you change the wires, definitely there can be short circuit also. You understand my point? I mean, I'll give you what is mindset. A small example. In a train, like it's from the book Seven Habits of Most Effective People. When I attended one training in 1994, and the gentleman came when I was traveling in London. I saw two people, two kids, like crying and doing a lot of mischievous things in train. So I scolded them. His father said, if I don't scold them, I mean, we have just cremated their mom, and I'm coming. So the perception changed, and the perception changed, the mindset got changed. The mindset gets changed, the behavior gets changed. You can understand the chain effect. This is how the mindset appears. I can give another few examples only. So I told that trainer, okay, sir, you are quoting it from 85th page, so and so. Okay, how do you know? Well, I am an avid reader. Anyway, so this helps you in your personal life also. My question again is, you relate this particular thing, whether you will pay or not. There is no concern about a cash flow. You are a CFO or a finance director. It is up to you. Are you getting my point? This is most important decision. What happens if you pay, the market perceive wells for you, saying, okay, you are a good company, but what happens to employee? Whether they will stay, whether they will leave. Come on.
They will leave.
Of course, there's an advance, don't worry. But see, this is how you need to learn. This is how you need to decide, okay, if I make this particular decision, what will be the effect after 5 years, 10 years? You understand my point? Now, for example, suppose you pay, the market perceive well, but you don't know there will be dilution. Profit will reduce, the share will have its effect, the price will come down. Correct? When they know okay, they cannot sell, they will resign the company, they will sell the shares because the market is up. The share price at that point in time, before the dividends are declared, they will go, leave, resign, and cash it. And what will happen? You will lose talent. Now tell me how HR and finance are interrelated. That's why if you do CFA, there is one full-fledged one subject, behavioral finance. That will be, of course, a part of this one. I will brief you more on the CFA program also. Are you able to understand where I'm coming from? Company is good. Finance director, okay, pay. All everybody resign. Ultimately, CEO will come and he will fire you. And you will say, how am I concerned with HR? You are concerned because you took an under. I mean, you are a CFO. It doesn't mean that you have to discard that. You have to do the multiple effect chain analysis. You have to prepare a decision tree and understand that if I make this particular decision. Now, example, I'll tell you something. In terms of my being a CFO at one point in time, I was given a bad, but this is a crooked guy because I stopped bonus at that point in time. Are you getting my point? I was the only one when I came over, very new, 3 months, and I had to decide whether to give the bonus. The company had been giving bonuses since past 10 years. Of course, it was not a huge amount. I mean, I don't regret having made that decision. But what happened is when the audit took place, now that rating changes. So when that rating changes in Gulf, the rate of interest changes by the bank. When you are under government, what do you say, financing scheme, it's also a different, it's not commercial. You get my point? When rating change, interest change. So when the interest got changed from 8% to 6%, and when you're talking about around 2 million Qatari riyals, you can calculate how much inflow how much inflow in terms of earnings I generated. Money saved is money earned. Is it or not? Common sense. Then I paid more bonus, and I paid in a way to facilitate. We kept a program facilitated, and everybody was happy, and they got double bonus. So the point is not that this is just to share my experience, but this is when you make a financial decision, you also need to know how the behavior will change. Suppose your boss decide, okay, fine, I will give you Rajiv, I'll give you say X bonus, Savita, I'll give you Y bonus, and Z bonus. Priyanka will say, okay, I got the very less. Giovanni sir is very bad. Example, hypothetically, it's human tendency. So whether to give straight bonus or to give bonus based on seniority, to give based on meritocracy. It all depends. But then you have to generally see, when you are a CFO, you have to think like CEO. And when you are an accountant, you have to think like CFO and CEO both. And I'm not joking. You do this and you will be very effective. You will be spotted. 100% you will be spotted. So how, I mean, does this particular approach make sense, or how is it? What's your feel about it? Like, are you able to perceive better than what the text was? I mean, how do you feel?
This is better, sir.
I'm not able to hear you, Rajiv. I think you're muted. Yeah,
Sorry.
now.
What I'm saying is, from a working perspective, this is a more accurate way of training your CFOs.
Yeah.
They have to see the consequences and then take a decision.
Yeah, even if you are a say junior clerk or an accountant, but if you, I mean, what I learned out of the first CFO and tried with the second CFO is, sir, this is what the financial speaks, and there were various projects, like 36 projects, so we had to collate those reports and everything. But then uh, my predecessor prepared the compilation, collated and gave it. I gave the analyzed project wise. Okay, this project is likely to get burst for the cash flow. And the CFO knew. The CFO knew everything because they have more information. They have their tools. You understand? Right? They have their tools, which we will discuss it. So what he liked about, I'm giving him micro analysis and he understood by this person as an acumen to interpret and understand, come to a level. It's not so okay. Among 18 accountants, I was the only chartered accountant besides the finance manager and CFO. It's not a matter of your qualification. No. There was one guy who was like 15 years and he could prepare any analysis. He was very good at Excel. But then, of course, you discovered that you have something which he didn't knew, because then continued development is also. Now, the co-pilot has come with my MS Excel. You don't need a code. You don't need anything. You don't need to even learn Excel. I don't know whether you know it or not.
Yes.
That is artificial intelligence. You can ask question and it will give you reports. I hope you understand. There's a simple sheet. It has come to you. You don't know how to analyze that. You ask. There is a vault there. They say admi, okay, helper. You just put it and he will analyze and give it to you. It's mind-boggling, So that Power BI or some stuff, it will be out. Just why you have to be prepared 5 years for the coming 5 years, because otherwise you will be like replaced. And I'm attending one seminar, fortunately in my community, which has come up. I am knowing it. I will also share with this you a $1 billion secret. Now, how to use AI will be one of the skill set. Like SAP, one time, oh, SAP, okay, fine. We needed somebody who knows. I got a job in one of the semi-government in one of the countries. That was my last job before I flew back to India. Was based on my financial modeling skill. They needed somebody to prepare models, and then how it was a transportation company. If the fare is this one, they needed everything on hand, and then representation was in Power BI. But the idea to bring home is in the times to come, there are two skills fundamentally needed, and I'm giving you $1 billion advice out of my real experience. Your knowledge will be zero. Your knowledge will not help you grow in the coming years. The only thing is networking skill and how to use AI. Write it down. You write it down and you will bless me in the times to come. Networking skill. Now everybody is knowledgeable. Artificial intelligence is so common. Everybody, as you said, want to learn IFRS. Okay, click Google and give you answer. Okay, this is how it is done. Who knows? Tell me. Who knows whether you are right or wrong? After you create a blunder, after the audit comes, and then they will realize by the time you would have saved your face. But then that's not the true thing, na? How to use AI and networking. Now, for example, why networking? Because everybody is knowledgeable. How to select? Okay, I know Rajiv. Okay, fine. I have a vacancy. Rajiv, please come. Because I know his mindset. I know him. I am talking to him. Had I would be you, I would talk. I talk to many students. They also talk to me, sir. I need this particular this one. So I know, okay, okay, she's having a problem here. She's having a strength SWOT analysis, and there are so many. That's why, okay. For example, if suppose Rajiv in a good position, I can say, Rajiv, there is the one Priyanka is looking for a job. Why don't you help? What what I tend to lose. And Rajiv will be more inclined instead of selecting somebody unknown to select Priyanka because say, okay, it's come from Journey sir, or maybe it has come from Savita, and that I know because we are a part of a particular community. So this will be one of the crucial parameters or skill set required in the times to come. And that's why it is very essential to know that by you have a particular community because that community will give you hope. Your knowledge and everything will go burst. I'm not joking about it because everybody comes with the same background. You everybody has the all answers. What different are you doing now? If had not been for you and somebody else who is new who don't know me, Jivan is you have just rewritten the whole textual thing which anybody can do or Google. No, okay, fine find in Google and let me know whether there is a duplication in the material which I am giving it because I am more concerned about my reputation and copyrights things. Otherwise, I can be punched down on that particular point. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. And it has to be crafted every word. And when I write also, I'm very keenful, not from today. My senior taught me. And I started working in legal department of a bank, then routine, then went to finance because I was financial qualified then also. But the thing is, like having worked in a legal background, it gives me an edge. That's why when I guide, I am prepared for the counter. So when you are making an adjustment, like for example, you declare a dividend, you should be in a position to counter yourself. This will be the skill required in the times to come. And there will be like a lot of jealous people also when you are in a top position. Oh, he did this mistake, that mistake. So the ability to prepare a good counter, I mean, you have to write an email that there is no burst. Nobody can counter you. You get my point? And nowadays, artificial intelligence also can help you. You know, if you're writing a comment on say LinkedIn and somebody can troll you also, how this and how that and all. You get my point? Anyway, so we'll take up another thing also. The reason is because I closed that particular screen, so I'm able to see you people. Otherwise, I can see only this one. That's what happens, whereas you are the host. Okay. So this we have come up and okay. Now let's see what the purpose of this one. Of course, this will skip because this is something very general. Okay. If you wish, if it's fine with you. Otherwise, we can go through this. Okay. So which one of the questions you like to move on to? You can see the question on the left hand side. Let me know. I have a consensus, and then we'll go from there. And of course, this is available to you, so you can accelerate the pace of your learning at your end also. My thing is to give you an exposure and add value in terms of our discussion so that it is more practical and you are able to generate interest in going for this, And trust me, I will tell you, those who are, I'm telling you very honestly and out of my insights, and not because to make you feel good about those who are really striving efforts and making time to, go through the course, they will definitely prosper. Like one of the lady just called me up and said, "Okay, sir, I'm not able to attend, but I just want to update you that I've been promoted and moved out from one backup section to accounting section based on what the wealth of knowledge." So it's a compliment to me. Of course, I'm not expecting that you have to give the credit to me. No, I'm not here for credit. The only thing is so far as you succeed, my success lies in your success. Anyway, just let me know so that we can go into this a little more interesting so that I can add value. Something generally you can cover up by your own as well. Yes. Okay. Yes, please tell me. Is there anybody from the audit side? Okay, let's move on to this particular question. What is the role of an auditor in financial reporting? It's very small, so that's fine. Yeah, please read.
What is the role of auditors in financial reporting? Auditors play a critical role in the financial reporting by providing independent assurance on the accuracy and completeness of a company's financial statements. Here are some of the key roles and responsibilities of auditors. One, reviewing financial statements. Auditors review a company's financial statements to ensure they are accurate and complete, and they comply with accounting standards and regulations. Two, accessing internal controls. Auditors evaluate a company's internal controls to identify any weaknesses or deficiencies that could result in material misstatement or fraud. Three, conducting tests. Auditors perform various tests, including substantive tests and analytical procedures to verify the accuracy of the financial statements and detect any errors or misstatement. Four, providing an opinion. Based on their review and assessment, auditors provide an opinion on whether the financial statements present a true and fair view of the company's financial position and performance. Six, reporting findings. Auditors report their findings and recommendations to management and the board of directors, and may also communicate with shareholders and other stakeholders. Overall, the role of auditors in financial reporting is to provide an independent and objective assessment of a company's financial statement, giving investors and other stakeholders confidence in the accuracy and reliability of the information presented.
The very reason I made you read this is because I do understand you are not from the audit side, but one needs to understand the aspect from the auditor's perspective, because you are open to audit, because when auditors comes to you, you should be in a position to counter them. This is why you should have an exposure as to what is expected of an auditor, and then accordingly you can gauge yourself for the delivery thereof. Okay. What is the role of management? Of course, this is something common, but let's go through so we get an idea. Of course, see, the highlight remains. There are lots of work remaining. Yeah.
What is the role of management in financial reporting? Management plays a critical role in financial reporting as they are responsible for preparing and presenting the company's financial statements to shareholders and other stakeholders. Here are some of the key roles and responsibilities of management in financial reporting. One, maintaining accurate records. Management is responsible for maintaining accurate and complete records for the company's financial transaction and activities. Two, preparing financial statements. Management prepares the company's financial statements, including the income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. Three, ensuring compliance. Management is responsible for ensuring that the financial statements comply with accounting standards, regulations, and applicable laws. Four, accessing the internal controls. Management evaluate and maintain the company's internal controls to ensure the accuracy and completeness of the financial statements, as well as to prevent fraud and misstatements. Fifth, providing disclosures. Management provide relevant disclosure and explanation to help stakeholders understand the company's financial performance and position. Six, certifying financial statement. Management provides certification and representation that the financial statements are accurate, complete, and comply with the applicable accounting standard and regulations. Overall, the role of management is in financial reporting is to ensure the accuracy, completeness, and transparency of the financial statements, providing shareholders and other stakeholders with reliable and relevant information to make informed decisions about the company.
Yeah, this is something general, and of course, you have a fair idea about it. Of course, now we will move on to the very basic from where we start the importance of accounting standards. Now let's take up this as a first step towards that's where from the whole aspect of IFRS will come into its interplay. What is the role of accounting standards? I mean, prima facie, if you are well versed with this particular thing, you will be able to not only articulate but practically effectively apply in real world practice. Please read.
What is the role of accounting standards in financial reporting. Accounting standards play a crucial role in financial reporting by providing a set of rules and guidelines that companies must follow when preparing and presenting their financial statements. Here are some of the key roles and responsibilities of accounting standards in financial reporting. One, ensuring consistency. Accounting standards provide a uniform framework for financial reporting, ensuring that companies are consistent accounting methods and techniques when preparing their financial statements. Two, enhancing comparability. Accounting standards make it easier for investors and other stakeholders to compare the financial performance and position of different companies as the financial statements are prepared using the same principle and guidelines. Three, providing transparency. Accounting standards require companies to provide relevant and meaningful disclosure in their financial statement, providing transparency and helping stakeholders make informed decisions. For improving accuracy, accounting standards help ensure the accuracy and reliability of financial statements as they provide guidance on how to measure and report financial transactions and events. Fifth, facilitating regulation. Accounting standards provide a basis for regulatory bodies to enforce compliance and ensure that companies are following the rules and guidelines for financial reporting. Overall, the role of accounting standards in financial reporting is to promote consistency, comparability, transparency, accuracy, and regulation, ensuring that companies provide reliable and relevant financial information to stakeholders.
Good. This gives a fair idea as to what is its role and what are the benefits. The benefits and role is almost the same. I mean, there is a possibility that you may find overlaps in terms of material or information crafted. The only thing is it is intentionally done. I have done it in the sense there is a concept known as reiteration. In the sense you need to repeat that. That's what I learned from my mom, that when as a teacher you need to repeat and counter repeat and repeat again so that it finally gets into the subconscious. Now I believe it's very tedious to read a textbook as such. Even if you read 5 questions a day, maybe in a year's time or 5 years time or maybe 6 years time, success is not built overnight. When I am crafting this, I must have crafted at least 5 7 times one question. I'm not joking about it, or neither I'm trying to flatter about it. Oh, I'm doing a lot of hard work, but then I am doing it as if everybody is a CFO, and 5 years down the lane, they assimilate the word by which they have covered this particular journey, so that they can pass on this particular legacy. One gentleman from UK, like he's my friend, because we studied together. After a long time, we reconnected. He said, Kijivan, you've done a benchmark work. This is going to be a benchmark if this got, I mean, if you are able to promulgate and, when everybody looks out for this one. I said, I'm not looking out to be famous or something like, everybody this, but whosoever has been able to be fortunate to lay hands. And this helps me also, because I am the reason why I teach or read or do this, because I'm in constant vibration. Are you getting my point? So if there is an argument or if there is a discussion, I'm better able to articulate. Okay, we'll stop here. Of course, you have the exposure, the very reason. I mean, we will conclude this particular so far, because I don't want to become heavy and a lot of people have not been able to. Maybe they must be under consideration. But it's April Fool, so Sunday we April Fool banane ka. So it's not that electricity has come now, so I'm happy about it. I'll just stop the recording so we can continue our